idemo kod Simona.
Just a few more questions, if you don't mind.
Malo smo dosta pitali, tako da idemo da pitamo ovim poppy pods.
Odd question, but have you ever seen anyone handling dried poppy pods?
Poppy pods? As in, for opium? No. Though James did have opium tea once, I think.
Where did he get it from?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't ask. James does his own thing.
What does opium tea taste like?
I don't know. I didn't try it.
Really?
I didn't want to risk it, did I? But I went to hospital once. I had codeine and I went into anaphylactic shock. The doctor said it was an opium derivative, apparently, so...
Dobro, zanimljivo. Ali, ajmo ovako. On je rekao da imate neke alergije. Usako mislim da sam negdje beše vidio. Gdje sam ja to beše, sećam se da je nešto pričao o tome. Da, rekao je da, kao ima alergije na to, a oni su zajedno uzeli da evo ga, to je to. To mislim da to je jest, to je to.
You and Kate took morphine in the mirror room. That's what you said, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you're allergic to opiates, Simon. Opium. You didn't take the morphine at all, did you?
Well, no, I didn't. Kate did, though.
I thought you were trying to outdo each other. That was the point, wasn't it?
We weren't trying to outdo each other as such.
Go on.
Ryan wanted me to test Kate. To see how far she would go to be prime candidate.
What candidate?
Prime candidate. It means the best person in the group, basically.
What do you mean, test her?
But you do it in pairs. One person's the tester, it's me, and the other person's the...
Victim?
Well, it's not like that. It's completely consensual. It's just boundary testing. Ryan wanted me to test Kate.
Because they thought she was the best student?
Well, maybe. I don't know. I just did what I was told, okay?
Except you decided to give her morphine. To break the law.
Well, I can't change that now, can I? She didn't die of a morphine overdose, did she?
She died because she drowned. But she drowned for reasons that aren't clear. Atlas seemed to have this all neatly worked out. If Simon's telling the truth, Atlas are lighting the fuse and then retiring to a safe distance, letting students test themselves and push themselves to their limits while avoiding all comeback. Is this what happened to Kate? Be back later on, if that's okay.
To je, boga mi, dobro pitanje. Tu moramo da vidimo tek šta se zapravo stvarno ovdje dešava, jer ovdje je baš komplikovano.
Do you know about the mirror room at Atlas?
The mirror room? No, I heard about it, but I think it was only for the students that were on the course. Something like that.
Dobro, ovo nema pojma tome, ovo pitamo za ovaj popije.
Strange question. Have you ever known of anyone selling dried poppy pods?
Poppy pods? Don't think so. Isn't that opium?
Kind of. It's okay.
Realno, brate, da. Ajmo da pitamo još ovome.
Do you know what a prime candidate is at Atlas?
Yes, it's what every student wants to be. It's the best student. Apparently you get a great high-paid job afterwards. I don't think that really happens, though.
Did you know anyone in the running to be prime candidate?
What, like Simon? I don't think they picked Simon, to be honest. Well, he's got too many morals, and you can't have both at Atlas.
Okej, ništa, idemo dalje.
Okay, that's it for now. Thank you.
Ništa mi ovdje nije jasno, ako me verujete, ništa. Treba ta situacija još više zakomplikovati. Mada se otvara situacija, ali bukvalno još više zakomplikovati. Ništa, idemo da vidimo kod ovog klika šta će sa onima da nam kaže vezano za...
Ask about a few more things, please.
Ajmo prvo za ovaj mirror.
Can you tell me about the room with the mirrors at Atlas? The one with the combination lock?
How did you get in there?
I was given the code for the combination.
By Ryan?
Well, nobody else is allowed to know the code, are they?
And not in theory.
So how's the room used on the course, then?
It's a meditation room where the students can reflect done themselves, literally.
And what about the CD?
Well, that helps too. It's part of the program.
So you send the students into the room, they put the CD on, they stare into the mirrors. And how long does this last for?
Until the CD finishes or they fall asleep. What else would you like to know?
Dobro, ajmo ga pitamo Popiju.
What do you know about poppy pods?
Poppy pot?
Ever come across anyone selling them, using them?
No.
Dobro. Ajmo prime kandidatu.
What are prime candidates?
The best of the bunch. The peaches.
And so what does it mean to be a prime candidate?
Success. We have a special relationship with many major international companies. We provide them with our best students. And they get an instant job.
And what do you get out of it?
Well, it's a little kickback. It's just business, Inspector.
Dobro. Hvala na odgovoru, znači
Thank you.
ništa,
Probably be back
ništa
later.
spet što se njega tiče. Tu smo samo neke par informacija pokupili. Ajmo do Rebeke, do nje, boga mi, dugo nismo bili. Da vidimo šta ona zna. Da uopšte nešto zna ili će da bude samo, I don't know.
Couple more questions, if that's okay?
Ništa da, nju nismo isto pitali o mirroru.
Do you know anything about a locked room at Atlas with mirrors in it?
Not off the top of my head, no. I think that's a question for Ryan.
Dobro, pošteno.
What do you know about poppy pods?
Go on.
Ever come across anyone trying to sell them or anything like that? Maybe even in here?
Not that I remember.
Ne zna ona nešto više o tim biljčicama, više nego bilo koji drugi, ali ajde.
Do you know what a prime candidate is?
At Atlas, it's the best student.
And what does that mean?
It means they get a guaranteed job with a very good salary. Well, that's the idea anyway.
But
Mostly they aren't up to it.
what happens then?
They get sacked.
Ok, prosto jednostavno, dobro. Ajmo
Thank
dalje.
you. Probably be back later.
Bukvalno nemamo tu neke koristi ni od nje. Ajmo ovako. Nismo ni dugo provjeravali što se ovdje dešava. Tako da... Idemo da vidimo ima li šta novo. Samo sekund. Ajmo još malo napred. Sada idemo da idemo... ajmo ovdje. Ipak imamo nešto ovdje.
Just keep pushing. Just keep pushing.
Šta je ovo, bro?
Pushing. Keep pushing. You can push it all the way in, Tom, if you want to.
What the fuck je ovo?
Excellent, Tom.
Excuse me. Would someone care to tell me exactly what's going on here?
Don't come any closer.
That man needs a doctor.
No, he doesn't.
I don't need a doctor. I'm fine. Go away.
What is this?
A test?
Of what?
What does it look like? It's a threshold test. A pain threshold test. I thought, you were supposed to be good at working things out. Inspector Jenks.
And so this would be for Atlas, would it? Kyle?
You disappear now.
It's not a good idea to talk to a police inspector like that.
Do you want me to make you?
It's okay, Tom. Mr. Jenks won't be bothering us anymore.
Don't make any rash commitments.
Bome, ovdje se već zakomplikovalo. I još sumnjivije nego ikad. Opa, smo našli neki dokaz. Fenomenalno.
Well, well. You really should take more care of your things, Ryan. Is your keys, Kyle?
No.
Da smo dobili ono što smo tražili.
So that's threshold testing, is it? Sticking a skewer through your hand? I could just ask Ryan or Paul directly about this, but I think I'll bide my time. See what I can do with this key fob first.
To je možda od onog auta. Gdje to beše taj auto? Je li ovdje već? Ne, pardon. Pogrešno dugo. Ovdje. Ajmo da vidimo ovako. Evo ga. Pardon. A da, pogrešno dugo. Izvinjam se, evo ga. Ipak radi. Ipak radi. Ali šta ćemo dobiti sad? Ja, na desnoj strani je vola. Oho.
Bingo.
Check.
Well, Ryan, what have you been up to? Be very interesting to see how he explains this one.
I to za Kate Vine. Jedno $500. Biće, boga mi, ovo dobar dokaz. Fenomenalan, bolje rečeno. Evo, Brandon House.
Few more questions, please.
Pevaj.
Why do you think Ryan might want to give Kate a cheque for £500?
I've really no idea. Where did you find it?
Just outside.
You better ask him.
You think Ryan was interested romantically in Kate?
I know he has a weakness for blondes, but I didn't think it had gone so far as his offering them cash.
Ja ne bi to rekao da je tako, ali ajde vidjet ćemo.
Thank you.
100% imao neku aferu sa njom, znači nema šanse. Ali ajmo direktno njega da pitamo, sad me baš ono zanima, vidimo šta će on da kaže. Znači baš me zanima, vidimo šta će on da kaže.
Ask you a couple more things, please.
Tup. Da, ovdje ga nema svakako ništa ga pitamo, tako vidimo, aha, imamo ovdje za popije, imamo i ovo, ali ajmo prvo za popije. Ili za, šta mi je bilo prvo da ga pitamo? Ma ajmo popijemo bro. Bravo.
Know anything about poppy pods? Come across anyone selling them or anything?
Poppy pods? Well, don't tell anyone, Inspector, but I hear that you can make opium out of those. Why do you ask?
Doesn't matter.
I njemu je čudno kao, zašto da ne, da ajmo pitamo i ovom.
Now, tell me what a prime candidate is.
You're learning a lot, aren't you, Inspector? Prime candidates are simply the best students, the ones with the most potential.
And what benefits do they get from that?
Well, they get the top job.
Which is?
Well, we have a deal with various multinationals. We train students to be exceptional, truly exceptional. And they get a wonderful top job. It seems a very simple deal.
And how do you decide who the prime candidate is? Do you test students?
No.
Did you ever, say, ask Simon to test Kate, for instance?
Oh, you've actually been speaking to Simon, haven't you? I really wouldn't trust anything that Simon Thompson says. You know, he spent the best part of 2 months trying to undermine Kate. No. Now, Simon Thompson, it really isn't my place to speculate, but if you're looking for motives, Inspector, he certainly had a few motives, more than I.
A motive to kill her, do you mean?
Now, that's very interesting, Inspector. Well, that's up to you to decide.
Ovo je baš veoma zanimljivo, ajmo ga pitamo još o ovome.
Would you like to explain what this is, please, Ryan? £500 intended for Kate. It fell out of your car. At least I assume that's your car on the driveway at Brandon House.
I suppose so.
So why were you going to give Kate £500, Ryan?
It was just a little incentive, that's all. Just a little incentive.
Not very little, Ryan. £500.
She was a very good student. We heard that she was leaving. We wanted to give her something.
But you didn't.
Well, obviously not.
Are you sure there wasn't any other reason you might want to give her this? Personal reason?
No!
Well, I'd like to keep hold of this for a little while, if you don't mind.
Well, don't consider it a bribe, will you, Inspector?
Boga mi ovaj previše negira, još i viče, tako da mi sad još više onako, ajmo reći, sumnjiv. Ajmo ovako. Naravno da imamo pitanje vezano za to. On je rekao da money was meant a little incentive for Kate, ali gdje beše sad to? Autohipnoza, mislim da je ili nije. O, evo ga. Evo ga, sad ćemo da idemo.
So, students aren't coerced or bribed in any way, except Kate.
Bukvalno, brate.
I'm not sure what you mean.
You said you were going to give Kate the £500 as an incentive. That's coercion, isn't it?
I really don't think you could call it coercion, Inspector. It was an incentive, that's all, a little encouragement.
So, how often do you use incentives?
Okay, incentive is probably the wrong word. The money was just to see how Kate would respond. It was part of her assessment.
Assessment?
We have to assess students as they progress. We don't use conventional methods like sitting an exam or anything like that. People pay for this course per session. We have to know if they're committed or not.
So you're assessing their progress and testing their commitment?
Yes, we are. We have to. This is a business, not a charity.
So Ryan's claiming the money was part of Kate's assessment. And did this assessment also involve threshold testing, I wonder? Or was the money for something else?
To je dobro pitanje. To je zapravo dobro pitanje. Da nije možda za prime kandidat, ovako. Samo ovako, znači on je... Pardon. Znači ajmo ovako. Simon je nikada nije testirao Kate. Mislim da je i da, i za to je negdje slago, samo sekund da vidim da to beš. Evo ga. Iako je rekao da nikad nije testirao, ali opet je dao kao Kate parade, znači koliko tu se nima neslaganja dosta sa tim. What the fuck? Ne razumijem zašto nije ovo prihvatio. Kako prime kandidat, znači studenti nisu testirani, ali je dato $500 da se Kate testira. Zašto?
Aha. Well, which one is it, Ryan? Do you test students or not?
Well, some of them, yes.
Including Kate?
Yes.
Why was she being tested?
She was being tested because we wanted to see if she was good enough to become prime candidate, okay?
So Kate was in the running to be prime candidate?
Yes!
And did you ask Simon to test her?
Yes, I did. But I didn't ask him to do anything stupid. He knew it was against course rules.
How far did you ask him to push her?
I didn't ask him to push her. I asked him to test her. There's a huge difference! If Simon decided to give her too much caffeine or morphine or whatever, that's his responsibility. So if he did anything wrong, it was his own responsibility. He did it with his own mind and his own hand. We had nothing to do with it.
Opa, sad se tek zakuvala, što se kaže, 12 poslednji sat.
Midnight, and still no suspect, unless you count everyone I've interviewed. It's no surprise that Ryan wants to avoid any suggestion of being responsible for Kate's death, but I wonder if the man protests just a little too much.
Naravno da će da odbije sve, logično neće onda mi kaže šta se dešava, tako da moramo brže da reagujemo. Ajmo da ga pitamo ovome.
Was Kate a prime candidate?
Well, as Ryan has probably already told you, yes, she was.
Did you ask Simon to test her?
Yes, it's company policy. Leaders don't get involved.
And it covers your back, of course.
Well, nobody knows the students better than they do, Inspector. It's much better to let them just work it out among themselves.
It isn't very professional to force students to test each other to the point where one of them gets killed, Paul.
We don't force students to do anything that they don't want to do, Inspector.
So you don't force them into being tested?
No, we don't encourage anybody to hurt or offend anybody else here.
You don't use threshold testing, for instance?
No. If Simon Thompson went too far with Kate, that's his responsibility, not ours. He's the one you should be speaking to, if truth be told. I don't trust him myself.
Dobro, ima poentu i to. Jer je on forcirao, ali opet dešavalo se
Be
kod
back
njih
later
to.
on, if that's okay.
I šta imamo ovako? Daj mi mapicu. I idemo do Simona. Jer je realno sad on najsumnjiviji od svih.
A few more questions, if you don't mind.
Ajmo da ga pitam o ovome.
How do you think you'd have reacted if you'd found out that Kate had been chosen to be prime candidate?
Is that... Was she?
I'm just asking how you think you'd react.
I don't know. I wouldn't react in any way, really. I'm not bothered. I don't think she was, though.
What makes you think that?
Well, it's just an impression I got. You know, she's a bit flaky, to be honest. She's just not really prime candidate material.
Ajmo ovako. Samo stekao. Ne znam što da ga pitam, ali prvo sremom pa ćemo da vidimo kasnije. Vidimo što ima Ema da kaže na to.
Do you know whether Kate was in the running to be prime candidate or not?
I don't, but I do think she would have been chosen just because she was, you know, Kate.
You didn't discuss it with Kate?
No. No, she never talked about this.
Dobro, ništa. Idemo.
That's it for
Napuštamo.
the time being, thank you.
Iako je ovaj Simon dosta sumnjiv, ali ajde. Dajmo ovamo dole. No, ponovo do Brendana da vidimo.
Couple more questions, if that's okay.
Ok. Evo ovako, što sam teo njega da pitam. Sad mi stade mozak. Ajmo ovako. Kate Prime status. Onda imamo da počnemo sad je mnogo bitno da ima šta. Ajmo ovako. Znači, Paul je rekao da nema tih threshold testinga, dobro. Onda imam gdje beše Atlas Mirror Room. Ja mislim da je ovo da, jer CD kao, znači Paolo je rekao da se ne koriste ti thresholda, ali opet je koristio taj CD u Mirror Room. Ja mislim da je to valjda, ako nije onda nemam pojma. Jeste, to je to.
You say you don't endorse threshold testing, that's the phrase, isn't it?
Yes.
Except you do, Paul, because you told me that the students use that CD in the mirror room. I've listened to that CD, and it very clearly mentions threshold testing. You keep batting this away, Paul. We don't really use hypnosis. The students aren't really tested, but I am this close to launching a full-scale investigation.
Look, we get a kickback from these students, and they have to be exceptional. Of course we have to test them. That doesn't mean we do anything illegal. What do you think we do? Bump off the ones we don't like?
Well, that depends on how far you push them, doesn't it?
Well, we certainly don't kill them. Nobody here wanted Kate dead.
I'm sure they didn't. But what do you expect, Paul, when you put students under that much pressure?
She was a very, very valuable student. She was worth a lot to the business.
Really? And how much would that be?
Well, if you really want to know, 50 grand.
Opa.
She was worth 50 grand?
Yes.
What, you were selling her?
Of course we were selling her. You don't get this, do you? We make perfect employees. Month after month. That's all we do.
What do you mean, perfect employees?
What big business needs, Inspector, more than anything else, is none of this altruistic, goody-goody crap. What we look for is people with ambition, no ethics. Push, greed is good, all right? We don't deal with all this comfort stuff. The survival of the fittest, that's all there is. There's no higher purpose, no big plan. There's nothing at the end of the rainbow, except what you have and you can enjoy in the here and now.
And what do you enjoy now, Paul?
You're gonna have to excuse me, Inspector. I'm a very busy man. I've got work to do.
Opa. Ok. Nešto krije čim neće da nam kaže, da nam odgovori na ova pitanja, ali dobro?
I'll see myself out.
Blizu smo otkrića čim neće da nam otkrije neke stvari.
Shut the gate on your way out.
Opa, malo da prisluškujemo, pa došao da ne.
He's doing his level best to shut this place down. Get rid of him.
He's a policeman. We can't just...
You sort this, right? You man up and you sort it. Tonight.
Ohoho, ovdje se baš da kuvalo.
That doesn't sound good. Two totally morally bankrupt men are plotting to get rid of me. It's midnight. I don't have any backup and I don't even have a mobile phone. This is potentially quite bad. And what's Kyle got to do with it? I think I might make my way over to Atlas while Ryan isn't there. Maybe lock myself in.
Ajmo. Ovo je boga mi zanimljivo sad. Ostalo.
Damn.
Opa.
I suppose it was too much to hope that Ryan had left the place open.
Dobro. Štajmo nazad onda. Go ahead in the woods. Ajmo ovamo levo. Opa. Ovdje gdje imamo nečeg. Što se ovdje dešava?
Prove to me that you're man enough to do this, Kyle, and then you can deal with that ridiculous police inspector.
What is this? What the hell? Scotland Yard. Not hell. Hello, Ryan.
Hello, Inspector. What are you doing here?
Inspecting. So, come on. Let's have it.
I don't think you'd understand, Inspector. The best thing that you can do is turn around, go away, and leave us to it.
Knife.
What?
That knife gives me a perfect right to stick my nose in, investigate, and interfere.
This is all part of the Atlas course. It's a physical endurance exercise.
Drop the knife. The knife, Kyle!
Kyle.
Drop it!
Drop it.
Not looking 100% brilliant for you, Ryan.
Well, please, Inspector, you've poked your nose into Atlas's affairs enough times to know that imaginative flair is part of the course's success. Our lessons are reinforced by a unique emotional experience.
Terror?
It's an extremely evocative tool.
Well, it's a good job you're not in charge of the national curriculum.
Now look, Inspector, I know what you're trying to do. I know what you're thinking. But believe me, Atlas had nothing to do with the deaths of those people.
Eyewitness account of a satanic sacrifice in the woods. That's not what we call circumstantial evidence, Ryan.
Simon. Now, I saw Simon walking home with Kate last Friday after the meeting. Now, Simon had some strange idea that he was in the running to become prime candidate. Well, a knob of butter has more chance of becoming prime minister. Oh, wait.
So are you telling me that...
Simon killed her. Well, it seems reasonable. It's likely, isn't it?
Any more likely than you, Ryan? Pig!
Weź ja dowiesz, Ed, he's a pig.
I know. Police brutality.
Uffa, se ovdje zahuftalo. Ali mislim da Simon nije ubica, iskreno. Ne znam zašto, ali mislim da Simon nije ubica. I ova devojka isto čudno samo otišla. What the fuck? Zašto? Hajmo do Simona. Možda i jeste, ali ono, ne znam, ne deluje mi tako. Knock for the Simon.
A few more questions, please. Thank you.
Da, ajmo da pitamo ovo.
What would you say if I said it's been suggested that you were seen walking home with Kate after Atlas last Friday?
What? By who?
The same person who suggested that you wanted Kate out of the picture because you found out she was in the running to be prime candidate.
Who said that?
Just a question.
I didn't think I was in the running. It was Ryan, wasn't it?
I am in no position to say.
It was Ryan.
Simon, calm down.
No, I can prove it. Kate's driving license, give it to me.
Why?
Kate's driving license, please.
Ok, ajde vidimo.
See that pattern on the tape there? Let me show you something.
Atlas neki nešto veze sa tim.
Now look at that. It's the same pattern. This has come from the same roll of tape as this.
So?
So there's only one person who's tape like that. Ryan. He gave me this piece of tape when I was in his office once. Why has Kate's driving license got a piece of Ryan's tape on it?
I have no idea, Simon.
Where did you find it?
Oh, by the lake.
It's obvious, isn't it? Ryan was testing her. He was doing a boundary test to see how much she would do, how far she would go to be a prime candidate. But it all went wrong. Okay. It's one of the things we do at the course, right? You give something that's important to you to someone else, then they go and hide it somewhere. It's to teach you to not be bothered when you lose something that's important to you, all right? Kate gives her driving license to Ryan. Ryan goes and hides it somewhere down the lake. Kate finds out, she goes down looking for it, probably drunk, and she falls in.
I'm afraid I find that a bit far-fetched, Simon.
It makes perfect sense if you know anything at all about how Atlas works.
But Simon, if you got the tape from Ryan, Kate could have got it from him.
He told me he doesn't lend it out.
He lent it to you.
But I didn't kill her! Do a lab test on the card. His DNA will be all over it.
And what if yours is all over it?
It won't be. I didn't kill her!
Ja mislim da on je ubica, on je verovatno
just
samo...
give me a minute, I need some painkillers.
Pokušavaju da mu smeste. Ne znam zašto, meni su i dalje taj Ryan najsumnjivi. Mislim da Simon nije ubica. Možda i greše, naravno. Ali po svemu sudeći nešto se dešava. Što sad pokušava da uradi? Verovatno nešto ovdje će sad... Sad ćemo da vidimo. Okay.
Where did he go in such a hurry? Is he trying to act as suspiciously as possible?
Sad izaberemo, ajmo desno ili levo, desno ili levo, ajde desno. Ovako. Samo sad. Desno. Nema ništa, okej. Ajmo onda pravo. I ajmo onda ovdje. Nema ga ni ovdje, dobro. Ajmo into the woods, još. Ajmo ovdje. Nije ni ovdje, dobro. Ajmo još. Sad znam do Atlasa. Enter the Atlas Grand. Aha. Ali ništa, naravno, nema ni od toga. Stavimo ako vraćamo se ovo će obišli da ne bi preskočimo malo. Idemo da pitamo, pošto ona nam je utekao. Evo ništa od toga da vidimo šta ima može da nam kaže o tome. Ovo su se pitali, pa da, idemo samo o Ryan.
Did Simon mention walking home with anyone after the meeting last Friday?
No, he just came home. Why?
He didn't mention walking home with Kate?
No, definitely not.
Dobro. Ajmo da vidimo ovome što kaže.
Have you seen this anywhere before?
I've seen it somewhere, but can't remember. Sorry, no.
Ništa pametno, nismo da. Idemo dalje. Gde ćemo sad, idemo čoč. Nastavljamo dole niz ulicu da ga tražimo, ajmo ovako. North to the road. Da nije možda kod Rebeke u pubu? Ajmo ovdje. Ovdje je kod Rebeke u pubu. Čim nije bilo nikakvih animacija, znači da nije, tako da... Ajmo da pitamo prvo... Ne možemo pitamo Randolph, ajmo pitamo do ovome.
Have you seen patterned tape like this anywhere before?
Oh, Ryan's got some. I know, because I borrowed it.
When was that?
A couple of months ago?
Have you still got it?
I don't think so. I haven't seen it since then.
I ja mislim da tu se nešto laže, ajmo ovako, kao, nije vidjela, ali... O sekund, ja sad to nađem gdje je beše... Gdje je beše broken pub window, i da tu beše nešto pričala o tome. Broken pub window... Vratno skroz ovdje, evo ga. Evo ga. Kada je rekla da kao nije, ali je broken window kao da bude. Ajmo da vidimo što kaže o tome.
You last saw that sticky tape 2 months ago, is that correct?
Yes.
So how come you used it last week to tape over the broken window outside?
Upravo tako.
That's the same tape.
Bukvalno, ista traka, a prenedelju dan. A kaže da mi se nije vidjelo to.
Is that it's exactly the same tape that was found attached to Kate's driving license, found at the scene. The tape that only Ryan has. Ryan, and of course, you.
So what are you saying?
Who's got the tape now? Do you know where it is?
No. No, I don't know where it is. Why are you asking me about this tape?
You seem nervous, Rebecca. Is there a problem?
Well, you're practically accusing me of having something to do with that woman's murder, aren't you?
I wasn't accusing you of anything, Rebecca. Unless there's something you'd like to tell me.
No, I wouldn't like to tell you anything.
Okay, well, that's fine. Obviously, we'll be swabbing everyone in the area for DNA, so if anything comes up on Kate's license, DNA traces.
What'll come up? Nothing will come up. Right, I've had enough. I've got to get back.
Rebecca! Would you like to explain to me exactly what is going on?
Which bit? The fact that some leggy bitch was trying to steal my husband?
Opa!
I think you had better tell me what you know, Rebecca.
Okay. You want to know what I know? Kate Vine seduced my husband and was going to blackmail him. Not only did she sleep with him, that whore did it just for his money, our money.
How did you work that out?
I heard her. I knew it was her arguing with Emma Bowman. Emma was trying to talk her out of it.
And how did she come to be at the lake?
She dropped that driving license thing when she came in. She was drunk. She dropped her bag. I took it out to the woods and stuck it over the lake. Then I waited for her. When she came out, I told her where it was, that someone had just run off into the woods with it.
You led her to the lake.
She was reaching out over the lake to get it. I didn't do anything. She just fell in.
But you let her drown.
It was dark. I couldn't see anything. I couldn't help her.
Really? Did you try, Rebecca?
But it was too
kako
late.
pokušala.
She was just flapping about in the water. It was pathetic. She was making these gurgling sounds.
And what did you do?
I got a big stick. I just pushed her down with it until she stopped. Well, she was dead anyway. What did it matter?
You killed her, Rebecca.
But she slept with my husband.
She didn't, Rebecca.
What do you mean?
You got the wrong girl.
Bukvalno.
Who? Emma. It was Emma.
Rebecca Rand, I am arresting you for the murder of Kate Vine. You do not have to say anything, but anything you do say may be taken down and will be used in evidence against you. Do you understand?
Yes.
Sad se razočarala što još I pogrešao devojku bilo.
So, it appears that Kate Vine's death was a tragic case of mistaken identity. But there are some loose threads here. What was Ryan doing with Kyle and that girl in the woods? What if I hadn't interrupted? And what really happened to Liam last year? It seems I've only scratched the surface of Atlas and the Rand business empire. Trying to find out about Paul Rand's past is like peering into dense fog. He gives nothing away and covers his tracks with military efficiency. However, what is known is that Paul Rand has a lot of connections in high places, politicians, celebrities, business leaders. Perhaps James Wilson's ideas weren't too wide of the mark after all. I get the feeling there's still a lot more to learn about the Rand business empire.
We're gonna have to excuse us. Atlas is closed for the moment, but we'll be open again very soon. Thank you for your interest.
Kakav ending ove igre. Kao da bi trebalo da bude drugi deo. Ali mislim da je neće biti. Da, to je kraj. Pa dobro, ne znam šta da kažem. Zanimljiva igra veoma. Nisam puno pričao, ali je zato što su dosta oni pričali, pa jednostavno nisam teo da prekidam da bi se lepo moglo da se čuje. Na kraju neočekivano iskreno, ali iako smo sumnjali, pošto su svi nekako bili nervozni, svi su nekako bili, jedino je ona bila uvijek smjerena u odgovorima i slično. I uglavnom i takve osobe budu najsumnjivije, ali opet sam mislio, rekao, pošto je onaj pobegao, mislio sam rekao da je verovatno možda I ona, ali izgleda se samo uplašio i ona je pobegao sa lica mesta, dok je ona htjela samo da ubije tu ženu koja je varala. Muž koji je varao sa tom ženom, ali je našla na kraju pogrešnu ženu, pa je jedna Emma, naravno, nego Kate. Emma je tu izvukla živu glavu I ko zna šta se to sve izdešavalo, boga mi. Meni zanimljiva igra, veoma zanimljiva igra, tako da... Šteta samo što nema više nekih, ajmo reći, interakcija. Znači da možete malo više da igrate, da nije samo ono klasika kao sad. Pa bukvalno samo da klikćete ono levo desno I da malo istražujete I da dosta slušate, bukvalno kao neki film, malo poduži film, ali igrica zanimljiva. Mislim, meni je story zanimljiv, samo što eto kažem opet, mogla sam malo više interakcija da se doda, da može malo da se hoda, da mi nešto pokušamo, ali dobro. Opa. Aha, okej, ništa, samo to je bilo. Neuma Films. 2015. još, znači ne verujem da će biti drugog dela, ali kao da je onaj kraj najavljivo taj drugi dela, ali vidit ćemo. Dedicated to Paul there. Okay. We hope you enjoyed playing Contradiction. This is an experimental game made by tiny budget. If you like, please leave review of the game. You support it. Ok, da, ovo je eksperimentalna znači igrica koja je pravljena vidite sa mnogo malim budžetom, tako da iskreno da vam kažem kada se sve to skupi, sabere na gomilu, znači stvarno, ja ne znam šta da kažem drugo osim da je brutalna stvar, kada vi sa ovako malim budžetom napravite ovakvu igru. Dobro, to je to, nemamo šta više. Ja bih se odavljeno da se odjavljujem, pošto istražili smo sve što smo trebali da istražimo, našli smo ko je krivac I sve, ja se nadam da ste uživali igrice. Opet ponavljam, nije neki tip igrice koje ni ja igram, verovatno koji ste ni vi igrali, ali eto čisto sam htio da probam zbog Dead of Nighta koja je brutalna igra, pa se čisto htio da probam i ovu njihovu igru, prvu igru koja je izašla, tako da, iskreno da vam kažem, za prvu igru je okej. Samo opet ponavljam, da su imali možda veći budžet, da su malo napravili više interakcija, kao nešto čuo Dead of Nightu gde se hodalo malo više, mada i tu je isto ograničili ste dosta, ali opet da malo drugačije bude priča, to je sve. Što se mene tiče, igrica je okej, dobra je, nije naravno za sve, ko voli ovakva neka istraživanja i slično, bit će mu fenomenalna, ali opet trebate dosta da razmišljate, povezujete priču, da vidite šta vas je slagao. Ja eto sam nekako u glavi, negde se izbunim, negde ovo, ali opet nije toliko teško, mislim makar meni nije bilo teško. Okej, je teže, ali nije sad toliko strašno. Tako da ono, to je to. Što se mene tiče i što se tiče ovog videa, da ne dužim više mnogo, hvala vam što ste gledali, ja se nadam da ste uživali, a mi se kao i uvijek vidimo u sljedećem videu, a do tada jedan veliki pozdrav od mene. Ćao!